Welcome to Bituminous Coal. Last summer, I took a rambling tour starting in Indiana, making way through Missouri, Kansas, Colorado, Wyoming, and Nebraska, and posting videos covering Moffat Tunnel, the Georgetown Loop steam excursions, and Union Pacific at Bailey Yard in Cheyenne and Laramie. Now here's probably the last video to come from that trip. It's a visit to BNSF's Argentine yard. If Argentine isn't quite as big as Bailey, the action certainly is big and hot. Footage shot in Kansas City at a balmy 99 degrees, 90% humidity. Let's go to Kansas City, Kansas. Let's go to Argentine Yard. Let's go to the trains. I love a yard where multiple trains move simultaneously in either direction. Argentine Yard had that immediately upon arrival. And fallen flags, too. Look at that, the Rio Grande. I found this interesting, the use of the four-wheeler. On many railroads, probably most railroads, you see conductors, brakemen using pickup trucks. Here, a four-wheeler. There are a heck of a lot of locomotives in the yard, and I'll try to give you information as best I can ascertain it. For instance, this GE-8, former Santa Fe. Well, here's an example of why I said I would try to give you the information. I'm on the wrong side of the train. There's a Warbonnet back there behind those covered hoppers. And at this point, I was very new to flying the drone and was still a little timid, a lot timid, about flying over a yard. Today, I would not be. Alas. On the end of the train, in the middle of the yard tracks, BNSF 1802, an SD38. It's a rebuild, originally built for the Frisco. Well, we have a grainer coming through with 2 units that were built for BNSF leading. A GEVO on the point and a -9 trailing behind it. And in the consist of cars, a lot of new or brand new, certainly not graffitied, covered hoppers. And this is a fine moment. I like this. I'll pull out of this zoom here. Another train going the other direction. Love it. Love it. Loads of locomotives in the background there. Oh man, this yard is something else. Now, here's the sad reality of shooting using a drone on a really hot day like this, 99 degrees. The battery life is about 14 to 18 minutes. Now, on a cool day, 55, 60 degrees, that battery life is about 30 minutes. It's a big difference. So, unfortunately, even though there's action, I had no choice. Had to pull it down and do a pit stop. right quick. Back in the air, we find there's some changes. Now, the train in the background, furthest off, it's still moving. But in front of us, what changed? The grainer stopped, and those guns that we saw from the very beginning, they're back on the move. When the yard sees a lot of action, it can mean that the yard is clearing out, and that's what it seemed to be doing here. Gave me the opportunity to get up a little higher in the air and take a look at Kansas City in the background. One thing about yards that I really like visiting for is oddball equipment. For instance, on the point of those two locomotives moving light, yeah, we're going to look at the Warbonnet, but on the point, it's a rebuilt EMD SD32ECO. Now, I don't know that I've ever seen an SD32ECO, but here it is, built in 1973 for the Santa Fe. And then, of course, the Warbonnet, a GEVO. Time for another battery change. Well, two GEVOs pull an intermodal train just in time to catch it. The intermodal explains why the grainer on the adjacent track had stopped. And now, the intermodal train slows to a stop. Time for another battery change, and there's motion behind. Come on, get up in the air. Felt like an IndyCar pit stop. Get it up quicker, faster, faster, shave seconds. Well, there it goes, that grainer. It's got a helper on the back. Well, I tell you, in the couple of hours that transpired in this shooting, the yard really cleared out. Cleared out yard? Never fear. Light power moves are here. In this case, we have 4 GE products, all of which were built for BNSF. And before our light power move can clear, in the background we have a 5 locomotive consist pulling a grainer, 4 GE products, and 1 EMD SD40-2 built in 1979 for the Burlington Northern. Beginning to wonder if the BN was going to be represented in the yard on this day, and at last it was. Finally on the move. This was the very first BNSF locomotive I gave information for, BNSF 546. It's been sitting patiently all afternoon here. Finally on the move. Well, I suppose I spoke too soon when I called it a grainer. It's got grain hoppers there, but obviously what comes next, those are not grain hoppers. And those are either cement or sand. So it goes, so it goes, so they go. And pulling up the rear on this train, it's a Dash 8. Built for the Santa Fe. The last locomotive in our video today, one of 19 seen here at Argentine Yard on bituminous coal. I'm at Argentine Yard in Kansas City. It's 99 degrees out here. The rail action is as hot as the weather for sure. It's almost non-stop trains. It's not exactly, but there was one point where 6 trains were moving alongside one another in various directions. It's really quite a spot. So I'm in this soccer field, which is a pretty wide open space to fly a drone over and not be guilty of trespass, because there are a million signs here from BNSF saying, you know, do not trespass, danger, 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 Will Robinson, danger. Well, so I don't want to be under their skin. And you can get great shots from, you know, a little distance while maintaining some respect for their property. So, but it's hot, and so I'm going to wrap up here. Bituminous coal on location. Argentine Yard, Kansas City, Kansas. I hope you enjoyed this look at Argentine Yard. I hope you didn't break a sweat. I do hope you'll join me next time when I take you, once again, to the trains.